Hey guys, it's James here with Kickstarter Board Game Spotlight and Chris with Zombag. Chris, say what's up.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
So Chris, I met him at the Cool Mini or Not Expo in Atlanta a few weeks back, and dude was on the Legion team and was demoing a bunch of games that I played, and just had a really cool vibe, really cool atmosphere about the guy. And then so I get home and I see a game called Zombag. I'm checking it out, and it's crazy. It took us like 2 or 3 connections, but we figured out, hey, we met at Cool Mini, and you're doing a Kickstarter right now.
That is accurate. It's pretty much how it happened.
So cool, man. So why don't you go ahead and give us a quick overview of the game, kind of how it plays, and some of the cool highlights of it.
All right. So essentially, Zombag is a 2 to 6 player zombie survival game. But unlike most games, we wanted it to be super quick and simple, so we put it into a bag. Now, a lot of people wonder, like, how does it all work, and what are the components and everything. But essentially, just chipboard in a bag. You pull it out on your turn, see what you get. If you get zombies, you fight them. If you get items, you equip them, and essentially try and get to the end without dying too much, because that's bad. But it's not so bad that it's going to ruin your whole game, because it's really point based, and everything you do in the game will get you these points. So killing zombies are worth points, and supplies you collect are worth points, and there's also some things in there that can negatively affect you, but you'll have to see that when it comes.
Yeah, tell me about the negotiation part, because I was watching the the playthrough video. I see how much of that kind of the trading part plays into the game.
So in the video, we didn't really touch on it too much, because it's really like an interpretive kind of rule, but you are allowed to, on your turn, before you actually scavenge in the bag, trade anything you want with another player for anything that they have, as long as they're willing to part with it. But it's really important in this iteration of the game, where we have mission cards that are the essential component of the game. Once you finish those, or once one player finishes all of theirs, I should say, they end the game, and whoever has the most points wins. And since missions are like the main way to get points, if you don't have the stuff to complete the missions and someone else does, you're going to have to trade for it, because there's only like 3 survivors, 3 weapons of each type, and only a few supplies of some of those really high point ones. So trading is absolutely essential.
Okay, yeah, because I was picking up on that. Do you have to complete 3 missions? Is that what it is that ends the game?
As it stands, we're doing 3 to 5 missions. 3 is if you want a shorter game. 5 if you want like the full, hour to hour and a half experience. But the time varies depending, of course. We did 3 just because it's nice and quick and simple. It's really good for demoing people. You get them into it and get them out of it quickly enough, and they get a full grasp of the game, no matter which way you play it. So,
yeah, so like when you get your mission card, it's going to have a survivor, it's going to have a weapon, it's going to have some supplies that you need. And so you're digging through the bag and trying to maybe even trade. I know our group would, I like that you made it interpretive, because our group is going to heckle each other. It's going to be like almost I'm the boss kind of mentality around here about, now listen, man, you need to give me that chainsaw, and I will give you this bat. I know you've got a mission card over there that needs a bat. Come on, don't try to act like you don't. Like, that's the kind of way that our group plays a lot of stuff. So I'm digging that it's interpretive on the negotiation part.
Yeah, man, you can offer up all the stuff in the world, but near the end of the game, when you only have 1 mission left, people are going to be like, I don't want those 8 items for this 1 bottle of water
that you obviously need to complete your mission in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way that it works out, like, most of the time. But if Grant needs his baseball bat really badly, then he will trade an arm and a leg for it.
Literally.
But he might not even need to, because maybe I just want that butcher knife. Maybe that's all I need.
Sure. Okay,
I'll take whatever he gives.
I know one of the reasons why, other than having met you and feeling like you were a cool dude and I wanted to support your project, but like when I checked out the game, one of the things I fell in love with quick was that how quick it sets up. Obviously, everything's just in a bag and it's chits and some cards. and I liked the art. While it was zombie, it was like cartoony and fun, so I could play that with my son who's 7. And it was just how simple it was to explain the mechanics. So you can take it anywhere. We could play it in the car if we wanted to. I mean, you can essentially play that game anywhere. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So for the artwork, we'll touch on that first. We actually got in touch with one of our friends locally. She does fantastic work, and that's kind of her forte, is doing uh, more like cartoony, more cutesy type stuff. And we thought that was a great way to go because, like you touched on, you can play with your kid, and a lot of the time, some of these zombie games they'll have really realistic art, or like it could be more of a horror themed game, but this is less of that. It's more of a party game that you can play with anybody. We wanted it to be inclusive for everybody that wanted to play it. So we did that art style, but we also kept the spirit of, you know, the apocalypse, because you'll notice a lot of the characters are kind of despondent looking, and the zombies, they're ranging from like dumbfounded to quite aggressive. And, we think it looks pretty great. But when it comes to the setup, that was absolutely key when we first started playing the game, because I know that my partner Ryan, he doesn't have much time a lot, so he will try and play something shorter, try and play something that doesn't require a lot of time to set up and take down, because he has a son, he has to take care of him every now and again, so time is often limited. And with a game like this where you can literally put it on the table and start, it's good.
Yeah, I saw also there was a piece of Kickstarter exclusive art that was a little bit of a pop culture nod to a certain individual, maybe the clerk. I thought that was really awesome.
Well, they all are, and I'm sure like anyone who's ever watched, old school horror-esque movies will get them. Uh, we put those characters in for very specific reasons. Ash from Evil Dead is Ryan's favorite, like, zombie killer, so to speak. And I'm not exactly like a huge horror buff, like modern, but I do like the old school quite a bit. With the exception of Shaun of the Dead, which is why I put Shaun in the game, because I wanted him. I love Simon Pegg and like anything he does. So we made the accountant or the advisor, because in the movie he's a sales advisor, and in Evil Dead, Ash is a clerk at a mart. But
Yeah,
then we also added a new zombie, which was, I think, our crowning achievement, because without Tom Savini, who is our zombie, like there would never be the great cinematography in uh, like makeup or the good effects that we have nowadays. Like, he is the king of these, so we had to put him in the game too.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, the game's is $20. Gets the game.
Yeah, on Kickstarter right now it's $20, and then depending on where you live, it's shipping, of course. So in USA it's 23 because $3 shipping. Europe is like 15, Canada's 10. Uh,
Cool.
but $20 for Kickstarter, and then it's probably gonna retail at 25 for when it comes out for regular price.
Sure, sure. Okay, so what I hear is I think we've got like a week left as we're recording this now. So got about 7 days left. $20. You're going to get about 30 to 60 minute, probably average play time.
Mm.
To me, it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the game.
Yeah, we generally have favorable responses. We play test with a lot of our local people at our gaming store. They have a game night like every night. We've taken it there many a times, just finding random people who can get to play it. And I've had suggestions and I've had like comments about the game, but I've never actually had a negative response, which is
It's a good sign.
it's a good sign. I'm a little biased, of course, but I think it's favorable to say that people like it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, okay, I think we've got that covered. So tell me what else you got in the pipeline? You got some other games you're working on?
Yeah, and like I was saying before we started this, I have some cool things to show you guys. Let me pull this up real quick.
Awesome. Show and tell.
First and foremost, we're working on this our first game we actually ever started working on was a uh, RPG dungeon crawl like tile laying system, and it didn't end up working out when we were first starting out. But we ended up getting like most of the art done, so I'll go ahead and show off some of this stuff. I don't know if you can see it right now, but
You see it?
I got this knight, just a standard human like paladin-esque character. And we have this archer, and all this was done by the artist who was a friend of a friend. He referred me, said that he really enjoys his RPG work, so we got this done a long time ago. And we got with Dwarf Warrior. I don't know if you
Oh,
can,
there's my character.
yeah, he's one of my favorites. Show off some of the monsters too. I got a standard goblin, like that easy character everyone's going to go up against. But even so, he still looks pretty fantastic, I would say,
Yeah.
in general. You got the Wraith, which is my personal favorite. I love the work that he did on it. And in the game, there's also going to be a couple different bosses, and one of them, this cool guy right here, he's a lich, all powerful
Oh,
undead
nice.
spellcaster type deal. And like my roots are in role playing games. I've been playing D&D since I was 8, so that's over 20 years now. And like it's my wheelhouse, so to speak. And liches have always been one of my favorite enemies to go up against. And last but not least, of course, the stereotypical dragon. He's going to be the big end game type enemy. And even though we didn't get the tile laying system dungeon crawler one out, when we started it, we have just rebooted this concept from the ground up. We're going to start working on this one, and we got a couple good ideas, and we're going through that right now. But I think the next game we'll probably be getting out is a baseball game, because we like our sports around here. It might not look like it, but athletic types, so to speak. So we got a baseball game, and this is some of the concept art right now. But it's going to be based on children at the Sandlot kind of thing. Go to their local
Nice.
playground, play some baseball. So again, this was the same artist who did our Zombag art, but we're going with full body and all that stuff, giving all the characters their own personalities. I think this one people are gonna like quite a bit. And to
So is
touch
it
on
going to
some
be
of
more
the,
of a card game, more of a tile laying? What do you got?
so this baseball one's gonna be um, cards uh, primarily, but you're gonna also get a couple dice. And the way it's gonna work is you're actually gonna draft a team of kids who all have their own special stats based on hitting different pitches and speed. And the pitchers will be able to throw certain pitches better than others. And you're going to have dice every time one of your people goes up to bat. The pitcher will pick a pitch die, which will have certain numbers on it, and be enhanced by their stats. And you'll also have the batter pick a die. If they match, the batter actually gets a bonus because he called the pitch. But if they don't match, the pitcher threw something that the batter wasn't expecting, and they get a bonus. So whenever a hit does connect, you'll draw from a deck that will have a certain number of bases or pop flies or you know
Awesome.
line drives and all that stuff. But it's fun right now. But this is about all the art that I got to show for the time being.
Well, if you
Uh,
need a 30-something-year-old dude and a 7-year-old kid to play test it, let me know. Shoot it over to Tuscaloosa.
yeah,
My
absolutely.
little dude loves everything baseball, so he'd be all over that.
Works for me. As soon as I get some of the artwork finished, I'll put together a playtest and I'll send it your way. And since it's cards and you can get 6 dice, you'll be fine. It'll be easy to
I
print
have
and
a few
play.
dice. I have a few dice around here that I could use.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, man. So I think that's puts a nice little bow on this interview as far as like you got a great game in Zombag that's already funded, so it's going to happen. It's going to come out. That's awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And it just looks great in general. One last thing I would like to ask you about working with Cool Mini in the Legion. Would you encourage other people to do that? What has been your experience with that?
So I've actually been a Legion member for almost a year actually. I've only been in it for so long. I started in Origins of last year. Went to the Origins Game Fair. It was the first gaming convention I'd ever actually attended. Been a long time game player, but haven't been able to go various places because I'm broke and a college kid. But I saw a thing on Facebook, Cool Mini or Not, was simply asking, "Hey, we need people to demo games," and I own them all because I like their games, and I went, and they hooked me up. Now, as far as other people wanting to join, I would strongly encourage it because they just recently announced the Cool Mini or Not demo team. I don't know if you saw that. I think I shared it in all of the various groups that we're part of.
Yep.
And as it stands now, being a member of the Legion at, let's see, I think it was Origins and Gen Con and maybe the Cool Mini Expo. I can't remember if that was included or not, but anybody who's part of the demo team and actually does demoing will get paid like $100 a day to do an 8-hour shift, like demoing games. And that allows me as a broke college kid to go to more conventions. And like this year specifically, I'm going to Gen Con for the first time in my life, which is fantastic because Gen Con is supposed to be amazing. And
It
I'll be
is.
going for 6 days because they need help unloading the car and they need help loading it back up. So they're gonna put some money in my pocket to help out, and it'll pretty much pay for my trip.
I was gonna say, did they cover your badge too, or is you
Yep,
still?
badge and hotel. You got
So
to
you
get
got to
there
get there.
yourself. And that's for any convention. Like Cool Mini Expo, I could go there and get a badge and a hotel, no problem. Dragon Con, I'm going there this year, and badge and hotel. Anytime you go to a convention that they are at and you're demoing for them, badge and hotel is included as long as you demo at least, I think it's like 3 shifts. So that's like if it's three day thing, you can do like day and night Friday and like Saturday morning, and then have the rest of the day yourself. Like Cool Mini Expo, I actually worked every single day double shifts, so it was 10 to 10 because I'm a monster. Uh, but even if you're not at one of those conventions, they still need people all over the country. And anytime you demo at a convention, you're getting Legion points, which you can spend on the shop on the website. So, I did a giveaway for Zombicide Season 2 as part of the Kickstarter Spotlight, and that was completely free to me except for the exclusives that I added in. Those are from like the Kickstarter that I got. Uh, but yeah, it was like $160 worth of games, and I made 800 points at the Cool Mini Expo. So I still had plenty left over to get all my games.
Yeah,
Um,
it seems like a sweet setup.
yeah, and the cherry on top, which I really enjoy, is that anybody that's in the Legion can, like, per week, once a week, you can demo, 4 of their big games. I think right now it's Crossmasters, Zombicide, Blood Rage, and Arcadia Quest once a week, and they'll give you $40, like straight in pocket to buy stuff off the shop. It's all store credit, but they have airbrush machines, they have paints and paint brushes, and as a hobbyist, I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet there'll be a lot of people watching that'll be interested in that and check it out because of this conversation. So that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Like anyone that is interested in getting into, actually, maybe not getting into, but like maybe just networking in general. Like you can go to a convention, you can have time demoing for people. That's how we met. Like I demoed games for you, and then we were like, oh hey, by the way. But
That's
like I'm friends with the people at Cool Mini now because I demoed for
right.
them. They
Sure.
all like me. They treat me well. They're friends on Facebook and whatnot. And I can message Michael Chanel, who's the lead developer on Rum and Bones, and be like, hey, so I got this game. What do you think? And it's no problem. Like it's rad.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
cool.
and of course, everyone else in the world. Like I now know you for one, a bunch of other people that go to like all these conventions. I sat and talked with Tom Vassell and all of them from the Dice Tower, and Rodney Smith. He was there too. I had a conversation with him, and like it's dope. I never would have been able to do that without the Legion.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome, man. All right, cool. So I'm excited for your game. I'm ready to get it in my hands.
Me
So
too.
if you're watching this, go check it out. Give it a look. Maybe give it a back. I know it has a spot in your collection. It's easy. So let's be kind to some people today. Let's back some Kickstarters, specifically this one. And happy gaming. Bye, guys.
Take it easy, guys.